And joining me now in studio is Israeli journalist Ben-Dror Yamini. Thank you very much for coming in.
Thank you for having me.
So I'd like to start with this report that we just mentioned earlier about Arab states calling Hamas to disarm. How significant is this, in your opinion, that Qatar, Egypt, and Saudi Arabia, among others, are now explicitly calling for Hamas to disarm and end its rule in Gaza?
It's very interesting because actually we see a kind of contradiction between Western countries, which declare one after one, we are going to recognize the Palestinian state from one hand. From the other hand, we see those Arab countries who declare Hamas must disarm itself. I mean, they cannot rule the Gaza Strip anymore. It's very strange because I guess right now we as Israelis feel much better in some Arab countries, speaking mainly about, of course, the Abraham Accords countries, than in many places in Europe. You will not see in UAI something like what happened in Greeks lately, in the last 2 weeks. It is important, but we cannot forget the fact that we are totally dependent on the West. And this kind of recognition in a Palestinian state, it might be just the first move before something which might be much worse, like boycott in beginnings. We cannot ignore the fact that we are speaking about the same countries that actually declared no more arms to Israel. Not only delays, but it was declared by Italy, by Spain, by partly at least by Britain. Practically it happened also by Germany. So we have a problem vis-a-vis the Western countries. We have a real problem. Speaking today about tsunami, so we have to think about a political tsunami against Israel. We cannot ignore it.
It's definitely a political tsunami. Now, Qatar has long been seen as a key backer of Hamas. Do you think that this public statement possibly signals a policy shift in Doha, or is it just symbolic?
We cannot ignore the fact that actually Qatar is funding every campaign against Israel. And I don't remember her name, the queen of Qatar, I think her name is Zuma or something like that. I mean, she is actually, with her fund, the Qatari Royal Fund, is funding everything which is against Israel. Now, it is a kind of surprise, Qatar, but Qatar, you know, we all know that they are supporting Hamas. Maybe it's because of the American pressure. The big story is, will they continue to fund the Hamas? Will they continue to fund the campaigns against Israel? For the moment being, I don't see a change. This declaration, it's nice, but it's only a declaration. It's important. I'm not saying that it's not important, but we still have a problem with Qatar, not with all other moderate Arab countries, but with Qatar, we have a real big problem.
Now, Israel sharply criticized the UK's reported plan to recognize a Palestinian state in September. They conditioned it unless Israel goes for a ceasefire. Israel is saying this is a reward for Hamas. Is there anything Israel can do to fight this?
I mean, the main problem of Israel, let's put it on the table, is not hasbara, is not advocacy. The main problem of Israel is actually policy. I mean, what we are striving for. It's not clear. It's not clear to the Israelis. It's not clear to the leaders of Western countries. Where we are heading, it's really not clear. We have to decide ourselves. Now, we cannot ignore the fact that we have some ministers that actually, it looks to me like if they are funded by Qatar that we just mentioned. I mean, with all these declarations about annexation, about we are going to open the gates of hell, I mean, they continue. They know about the huge damage that they inflict upon Israel, and they continue.
Right. But we know that the UK called for a ceasefire as a condition to not recognize a Palestinian state. And they're saying this to Israel, but we know that it's Hamas that, in fact, has refused several ceasefire and ceasefire for hostage deals.
You know, it's very interesting what you're saying because I'm following the big media channels every day, BBC, CNN, and you always see the same kind of headlines. Israel is refusing a ceasefire. That's the impression.
That's the message that goes out.
That's the message of the big media channels.
That's very unfortunate because we know that Hamas keeps refusing the deals.
So what I suggest, I mean, I'm not the Prime Minister, but what I suggest the Prime Minister, you know what, go to the UN and declare publicly, we are supporting a big ceasefire. We are beginning a ceasefire. Hamas is refusing. I want everyone in the world to know.
A lot of self-reflection here. Bedor Yamini, thank you very much.
Thank you for having me.